I know that there's been some concern because we talked earlier about the shooting at Parkland, and I know
Right.
some of the what motivated some people to run for school board was that they wanted to get rid of the superintendent, Mr.
Yeah.
Runcie.
hmm
What do you think about the job that he's doing right now for the school board?
Well, I mean, I think that the superintendent is doing the best job he can under the circumstances. I've looked and watched and been in meetings with him. He follows his directives to a T. He makes sure everything he's doing is within statute. Personally, for me, I believe that he is doing a good job. Now, is there some things that he can kind of tweak a little bit? Yes. Is it from the lack of him not making an effort to communicate or not even communicate, but have an opportunity to talk to people and learn from people? No, because he's gone out and done that. I know that the spotlight is on him since the shooting, and I understand that. Everyone will come with, their different reasons as to why he should be no longer the superintendent. However, no one's ever prepared for a school shooting. No one's ever prepared for any shooting for that matter. You don't wake up in the morning and you step out of your home and then you think that you're not going to come back. So no one's ever prepared. Were there things put in place? Yes. Did some things fall through the cracks? It depends on who you're talking to. But for me, overall, I think he's done a good job. Again, that doesn't mean that he doesn't get any kind of criticism from me, because there are some criticisms. There are some things that I've criticized him about that I think that he should really look into and take some stock and reevaluate. However, overall, going through such a tragedy and being on site, and I think people tend to forget or not even acknowledge the fact that this man had to be on the property and walk through those hallways to see something like that. I don't know if any of us could ever recover from that, but that's his job. He had no choice.
Right. And so he also has another big thing, that issue that he's dealing. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. And that also crept up on us too, right? If that's the word we want to use.
We weren't prepared for that.
It came fast. It was 1 week we were in school, and then it was about to be spring break, and the next thing we heard, you can't go back to school. And we're like, what do you mean we can't go back to school? It was announced one day, and then the next day the decision was made that, the children couldn't go back to school, at least in the short term, because they thought, we'd be able to get a handle on it. How do you think he's handling the changes that had to be made in the middle of the pandemic?
I think he handled the changes that had to be made pretty well. To dispatch thousands of laptops to children, to make sure that those are most vulnerable was still able to get food, to get curriculum going, getting the teachers trained to go and to move in such a way that we have no idea, uncharted territory. I think he did a great job. I think that, I think the entire district did a great job trying to get this situated and getting the kids to, get into some sort of normal under the circumstances. I have to tell you, I think, many of the states, struggled with that. And I think one of the things that Broward did very well was able to transition. I know the first few days was a little tough, and we knew it was going to be, but to really transition and really kind of put forth an effort, an agenda, and get this done in a week, I thought was phenomenal.
Yes, because like you said, that they canceled school 1 week, and then we were going to be on spring break. But once spring break was over, it was on and running. It was on and running. The children went to pick up.
He never said anything about we weren't coming back. Like during the time of spring break, he was working that whole time. And we weren't aware until a day or two before spring break ended that we were going to have to end up doing, at home, and then go pick up your computers, and then go do this, and then go do that. I have to say kudos to the board too for working so hard and trying to make sure that these things get done. And I think he did a great job. He came out looking good to me.